Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today marks the very first video of my new series. This series is called Therapy with the Queen. Moi. So I decided to start this because of the fact that I am studying to become a therapist, but also because I do want to open up more with my viewers, whoever watch my videos, and also the fact that my channel is not really, don't have one set of theme. I kind of want to do everything because that's how my life is. My life is not just like, about one thing. It's all over the place, and I want to share that with you guys. But most importantly, I want to make sure I'm helping along the way and giving some advice or some lesson from my life. So the topic for this episode or video is all about getting that closure for yourself that you need to move on in life without the apology, without the explanation that you actually deserve from the person that have caused you pain in life or have just left you with a big old question mark. Moving on from situations and relationships that really you don't know why it ended, you don't know what happened, you don't understand, you are angry, you might still be angry, you might not have forgiven the person yet, and you just need closure to move on. But you can't get hold of the person, you guys don't talk no more, or whatever reasons it may be that you really cannot talk to them and get it. Some people it's hard to reach out, but some people you just can't. The first thing that is very important in getting that closure without that apology or explanation is probably one of the hardest, is trying to understand why it happened. We don't have the answer because no one's going to tell you, well, I hurt you because of this, unless they're really real, and some people will, okay? But no one's going to say, you know what, I just didn't like you. Some people will again. Now, you have to try to understand why someone did what they did. And how can you do that if they're not, in your face to tell you or explain to you? What I personally do, I come up with little reasons, maybe like 1 or 3 reasons as to why someone will mistreat me and just be an asshole, to be honest, or just be very wrong in my life. Why someone will wrong me. And I try to understand. I try to come up with just little scenarios. Maybe they, were going through a lot. A lot of people say hurt people, which I think is only 70% of the time true. Sometimes they could be hurt, but they can also just be an asshole, and just care about themselves only and be selfish. That could be a reason. They're just really selfish. They just didn't care that they were hurting you or anyone. Or 2, they didn't know that they were hurting you. Well, 3 actually. So 1 is because they were going through a lot and they were also hurt before, or maybe you hurt them and you don't know, and because of them not really opening up and talking to you, they just shut you off and hurt you in return. Or it could be other reasons of other people hurting them. 2, because they're just a shitty person, because they knew what they were doing, they're cunning, and they just wanted to hurt you. They're selfish, they don't care. 3, they don't know. They don't know that they hurt you that bad. They don't know. Some people don't know. And those are 3 of the most frequent reasons I come up with when someone truly have caused me pain in life, whether it's a friendship or whether it's even the situation in the relationship between my father and I legit sat down and was like, why is this man such a shitty person? What did I do? And that is the biggest question we always ask ourselves. What did I do? Exactly what did I do? So once we've come up with 3 or 1 or 2 reasons, has to be more than 1, okay, why someone would hurt us, we now need to be able to accept every single one of them. Accept them, that if it's because the person didn't care, accept that they just didn't care. They just didn't care. And with my father, I had to accept that. I was just not wanted. I'm still not wanted. Even with all the chances he has to reach out and talk to me and explain to me as an adult, I'm not that important. And it is what it is. I have to accept that. If like a friendship that ended, maybe I did something that I didn't know that prompted my other friend or ex-friend to be upset. But I have to accept those reasonings, like as if all of them were true, or like the one that I really think is true, I have to accept it. So that's the first thing, is understanding and accepting all of the possible reasons as to why someone will hurt you or cause you tremendous pain. So the second and last kind of step after you've understood or come up with reasons why you think someone would be so cruel to you or just cause so much pain in your life is now trying to move on in life. Move on to forgiveness. Before I even continue, I just want to say, understanding does not mean you accept it. Understanding does not mean you're making an excuse for what they did. That just means as an adult, I understand why the person is hurting me. I understand why that person is an asshole. And sometimes it could just be the devil's just working your nerve. And I'm telling you, when I was going through this process myself, because I legit did this, I was like, I don't want to understand this part. I don't need to. But once you finally understand, or think you do, or come up with your own reasonings, then I can say, you know what? I can own up that I had some play in this, or I can accept the fact that they just didn't care about me. Without internalizing it that there's something wrong with me, they just didn't care, but that's not my fault. They just didn't want me, that's not my fault. Maybe they just wanted to hurt someone, and I unfortunately was at the receiving end of that. But I can now take that situation and grow from it. So when I see someone in the process of hurting me, I'm like, wait a minute, this thing happened. I'm not gonna let it happen again. And because I took the time to understand why I was hurt before, I'm now able to truly see what is happening again. And I feel like that's the reason why a lot of us, especially women, repeat the same mistakes with the same men or friendship in general, and you come to the conclusion that like people are just that way, men are just that way. Like, no, you just need to understand that that happened, accept that happened, and make sure it doesn't happen. Look for little things that leads up to it so you can like nip it in the bud before it happens. And also, without internalizing it that there's something wrong with you, people can hurt you and not care, and it has nothing to do with what you've done or how you are. It can be with them. And unfortunately, like I said, you're just at the receiving end of that hurt. It is really not easy to come down to this conclusion, but once you do, it just makes your life even more better, to the point where you don't even need to sit down and talk to yourself. You can be like, okay, so I understand what this person is doing. You know what? I get it. I understand it has nothing to do with me, but I can nip in the butt right there. I can walk away from it, or I can say, you know what, I want to help you get through whatever it is you're going through so you don't hurt the next person. But that's what this whole process is. To me, closure is not for them. Forgiveness is not for that person. It's for yourself, because you can't take that on to your tomorrow. You can't take yesterday pain to tomorrow. You can't. It's just not fair to whosoever you come in contact with. No, it's not. So the last step would be forgiving and moving on. It is easier said than done to move on. I feel like forgiveness is easy for some people once you understand possible reasons as to why shit happened in your life. But the moving on part is not easy, because you can forgive, and whatever damage was caused by that hurt is still gonna linger on. And that's what next week's video is gonna be about: how to live after you forgive. What happens? What do you do after you forgive? Like, just because you forgive does not mean like you're still not living with this hole in your heart. You're still not living with these walls built up from hurt that have been built up from the past. You know, you have walls of trust. You don't trust anyone. You think everyone's out to get you. Like, but you've forgiven that person. It's just the little damages that were caused along the way. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. And I hope you guys like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you do. Leave a comment down below. And I will see you guys next week. Bye.